like to start off this evening by thanking the Rogers New Technology High School Jazz Club, Ben Brandkamp, the student director, under the sponsorship of Miss Audrey Putnam. So if we could give them a hand, please. Also, before we get started, I'd like to point out this evening as you were coming in, about the last 20 minutes or so of our, as we got our ceremony ready, what you heard over the loudspeaker was you heard several of our learners who wanted to share with you, our community, their parents, their classmates, thoughts and ideas that they have had this year. They wanted to share those stories with you, and so I want to thank Robert Griffin, Omar Areola, Lucy Kiefer, Zach Smith, and Taylor Spearman for sharing those with you this evening. So thank you. Let me say good evening and welcome to the 2018 graduation exercises for Rogers New Technology High School. On behalf of the class of 2018, the administrative team, the faculty and staff of Rogers New Technology High School, I would like to thank you for joining us this evening for this most celebratory event. We began this journey 4 short years ago together. It was then this class first heard me utter the phrase, "It's not my school." In fact, I shared that with each of you, both individually and corporately, that Rogers New Technology High School was, in fact, your school, and you certainly took me seriously. From the first day you arrived on campus through your last days just a little over a week ago, you continued to shape and mold your school, seeking to leave a legacy for those who remain and come after you. You have played a leading role in creating what the New Tech Network has defined as an exemplary model school, what U.S. News and World Report called one of the best high schools in Arkansas, and what I hope you will always think of as your school, a true learning community. You did not stop building upon the foundation laid for you by previous graduating classes, but pushed our learning community to always consider what it was to get better, even through our challenges. This year, with the leadership of this group, Rogers New Technology High School has established avenues to further include student voice that did not exist before you. Your legacy includes our first ever live stream student roundtable event. This event is a semester-long reevaluation of who we were as a learning community and what role student voice plays in that reevaluation process. The first student roundtable event spawned other roundtable discussions, and I'm confident that this tool will be picked up and carried by those learners you have entrusted to carry the Rogers New Technology High School torch in your place. I would also like to take a quick moment to share with both graduates and parents my deep appreciation for your trust and your willingness to do education differently. I know you had many choices as you were thinking about your freshman year. I want to thank you for choosing Rogers Public Schools and Rogers New Technology High School in particular. Your willingness to share your learner, parents, with our community is greatly appreciated. I hope that we did not disappoint you. At this time, it's appropriate to begin our first set of introductions. I would like to first recognize Ms. Dania Scheider, Assistant Principal at Rogers New Technology High School. Ms. Scheider has been instrumental in supporting the growth of all aspects of our building, and this year she had the pleasure of working most closely with this class. Some of you may know that Ms. Scheider will also be graduating in a sense this evening, as she has agreed to transition into a district-level role. I want to say thank you, Dania, for all you have done over the last few years to support me, our facilitators, but most importantly, these guys out here, our learners. I would also like to recognize Ms. Karen Heifel, who joined our staff this year as an assistant principal at Rogers New Tech. Her commitment to and support of our culture of improvement and of learning has been unwavering. I would also like to ask all of the facilitators who are with us to please rise. Yeah, that's you guys on the back row. We have a few in the audience as well. It's this group of adult learners who have pushed members of this graduating class and asked you to improve daily in order to become the young adults you have become. Thank you very much. It's here that I'm reminded of a statement I've heard Mr. Morley make several times. At Rogers New Technology High School, we have superpowers because we take middle schoolers and turn them into functioning adults. I hope you feel, class, that you have been in an educational environment that has allowed you to not only grow, but to become better as you have made this journey. As we move through tonight's ceremony, I would like to invite to the podium our first of our 3 senior remarks, Matthew Holcomb. You will be able to follow along in your program as Matthew is immediately followed by Mr. DJ Talbot. Our final senior remarks will be made by Ms. Ruby Vega. Matt?
It's a beautiful day outside, wouldn't you say? I know what you're thinking. I'm also just as surprised as you are to see me here on this stage. My family is probably in the back somewhere, squinting, looking at me on this stage like, is that Matt? How did he sneak on stage? Well, hello, fellow graduates. If you're sitting here today, congrats. You get to walk. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Matthew Holcomb. I'm not the best student, I'm not the best listener, not the top of my class, but if there's one thing I'm good at, it's making people smile. There's a very old, ancient proverb that states, those who have no experiences have no soul. That's not actually an ancient proverb, I made it up, but I can say anything while I'm up here. I like to think of high school as a collection of experiences instead of years split into semesters, semesters split into quarters, quarters split into months, months split into weeks. You get the idea. So I'd like to take some time to look back on some of my most cherished memories, the good and the bad. Freshman year, the lock-in. Me and William are skating around the school like a couple of freshmen. I know, already a bad idea. Probably shouldn't have then taught Will the basics of how to ollie and pop shove it, because within the next 30 minutes, he ollie and pop shoved it straight into Mr. Daniels and Mr. Lou's wall. Who would have known good old Wipeout Will would have been top of the class? I remember me and Will stayed silent about it for the next few weeks, scared to get in trouble. We even moved a table in front of the hole to hide it. It was only a matter of time before they found out, of course. After the scolding of our lives, I wish we came out about the whole situation a lot sooner. I'm pretty sure the hole is actually still there. I'm sorry, Mr. Lou and Mr. Daniels. Then, in sophomore year, I remember reading the fastest I ever had in my entire life in the final moments before Miss Basic was coming to pick up notes for Chapter 10. I was scribbling hieroglyphics and symbols not known to man, trying to finish this chapter in time. Miss Basic makes her way to my table, and in a rush, I slam the book shut and hand her the page. She looks down at the page, and then at me, and then at the page, and then back at me, and says, Matthew, I understand you did the notes for Chapter 9, but where are your notes for Chapter 10? I never once missed a chapter after spending that whole time scribbling notes for the wrong chapter. Junior year, Mr. Daniels, AP Huge, Human Geography. The motto of this class was survival of the fittest. If you slowed down for a day, you were done, trampled, left behind, and morally obliterated. I know all this because I had friends who were trampled, left behind, and morally obliterated. I remember coming to class to a stack of tests at every table. Pop quiz, or should I say pop exam. Yay. I sat down to a table of worried students ready to fail a test. One of the seniors next to me pulled out his notes and hid it under the table and began to copy everything onto the test. He leaned over to me and whispered, Dude, I'm just trying to graduate. You never understand the pure desperation of that sentence until you, yourself, are a senior. I knew as a junior I didn't want to play survival of the fittest. As a senior, I knew I wanted my classes to be a team effort. It just makes more sense. This year, senior year, the golden year, the big kahuna, the graduating year of 2018, or better known as the year of senioritis. I'm sure most of you have already been diagnosed with it. I'd say senioritis happens when people feel like they are ready for the real world, but are being held back by, school. Side effects include, but are not limited to, the days starting to feel longer, each project becoming more stressful, and every decision becoming more adult-like. Emotions run high. I could go on forever about the emotions I felt this year, laughing until I cry at our stupid conversations at the lunch table, the sadness of family passing, even the feeling of blind enchantment at a high school crush. But if senior year taught me anything, it's that all these experiences we gather are the most valuable things anyone can have. Feels good, doesn't it? Looking back at all these years, 4 years of high school, 4 years of reading the designated pages, 4 years of 100% doing the homework at home, 4 years of convincing the teachers to assign only the odd numbers, 4 long years in anticipation, all to move a tassel from one corner of this pizza box hat to the other. Wow, the amount of fulfillment I'm feeling is insurmountable. In all my 4 years, the main lesson I can pass on to you is that you should focus on the experiences. Go do what makes you smile. Go ahead, stay up late playing games, laughing with your friends. Go ahead, go to that late watch party of Game of Thrones. Go do what makes you happy. Because in the long run, you won't remember the classes. You'll remember the experiences you had in high school.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank my friends and my facilitators for making New Tech such a wonderful place. Can we just get a round of applause for this graduating class, please? I'd also like to thank my family for showing. I have no idea where you guys are, but thanks, guys. And finally, I'd like to thank the jazz band for coming up today. I was a part of it. I was going to play, but yeah, I got preoccupied with other things. So, all right, well, this is it. The day we have been anticipating is finally here, our graduation. We are only one moment away from entering the real world. But before we embark on our future to come, let's relive some of our best memories. If you rewind the clock to April 2015, you'll see all of us as freshmen. Our building was merely 3 hallways, and we didn't even have a senior class. Everything was close together, and everyone knew each other. We were not a school. We were a family. Around this time, we were diligently working on one of the best projects in our American journeys, the court cases. We all desperately wanted to win, and we put in relentless effort to prepare our sides of the case. When my day finally came to present, my nerves started racing while I was awaiting trial. As I sat in front of the justices, I began to play with my hair and try to remember everything Mr. Daniels and Mr. Liu had told me. I could hear Mr. Daniels' voice echoing through my head saying, "Make sure to listen to your opponent and maintain eye contact." My mind was interrupted by the Chief Justice saying, "Please give your opening statement." It was time to put all my hard work to the test. Adrenaline took over my body as I began to recite all my claims. As I was presenting, I tried to look calm on the outside, but reality was I was freaking out. After I presented all my claims and rebuttals, I sat in silence and looked at the justices conversing. Questions started to flood my mind. Did I sound stupid when I presented my rebuttal? Did I forget to thank them for their time? Silence began to enter the room as the Chief Justice began to talk. The final vote is 8-1 in favor of the United States. My face lit up when I heard the news. All the time and effort I spent in preparing my case was worth it. That is one thing that freshman year taught us more than ever. All your hard work and dedication does pay off. Once freshman year was over, we came back as sophomores and acted like we knew what we were doing, but in reality, we still had a lot to learn. The building began to grow, and we finally had 4 classes. New Tech was evolving from the small high school it was to something much greater. We were led by Miss Basic and Miss Burdess in discovering how to grow as learners and people in general. Journal, they said at the beginning of each class to get the day started. We had some wonderful moments and some great geek-out sessions, and we would not be here without them. Projects were still a crucial part of our lives, such as the bottle rockets in Mr. Woodard's class and the podcast in our world history class. These projects taught us the recurring theme that hard work does pay off, but it told us something much greater. We needed to collaborate with each other in order to have a good project. It didn't matter how much you disliked your group, your teamwork was the primary factor for your success. Without the help of others, many of the things we accomplished would not exist today. Now we arrive to junior year. It seems crazy that this was just a year ago. AP classes started to dominate our lives, and projects were replaced with AP and ACT prep. Many of us left the campus and went to NWAC early to start college. Meanwhile, at New Tech, the school is still changing, and our freshman classes were growing exponentially. We began to look at the freshmen and think to ourselves, was I really that bad as a freshman? With guidance from all the facilitators, especially Miss Ford, we were beginning to turn into the responsible young adults. Junior year taught us the importance of independence. We were responsible for getting to our college classes, studying for our AP exams, and making plans for our future. There was no one to, as the facilitators would say, spoon-feed us anymore. As the year ended, we soon realized that our final year of high school was finally upon us. The year we had been anticipating since our freshman year was right in front of us. I don't know about you guys, but senior year has seemed to go by super fast. It seems like yesterday we were first getting into the last classes we would ever have at New Tech. Miss Lloyd started to ask about good things and became our guardian angel when it came to college applications and scholarships. Many deadlines started to come into our lives regarding college, New Tech, and even this cap and gown. If I had $1 for every deadline I was given this past year, I would have, $15. This was also the year of decisions. We had to decide what the next step for our future was going to be, what major we would pursue, what college we will attend, or what job we will have right after high school. Our senior year taught us that change is inevitable in our life. We will not be able to stay in our shell like hermits and expect things to come to us. We must go out into the world and take actions towards our future. All these lessons we have learned in high school have brought us up to this point. Our hard work and determination have led up to this most iconic moment everyone dreams of. We are here today because we woke up on countless Mondays. We turned in multiple assignments on Echo and presented countless projects. All of our hard work has opened many opportunities for us that we can now go and freely explore. It is time to say goodbye to the wonderful time we had as a family at Rogers New Technology High School. As you all leave today and go to pursue your dreams, I wish you all the best of luck. It has been a tremendous honor to be a part of this senior class, and I know that all of you will be successful in your future life to come. I know this because we are graduates of Rogers New Technology High School, one of the best high schools in Arkansas and one of the best high schools in the United States of America. Thank you.
Greetings. I welcome everybody here today, parents, families, facilitators, and of course, class of 2018. I'm Ruby Vega, and I thank you all for being here. Is it a pleasure to share these intensity of emotions with you all? Well, guys, it looks like we've made it. Here I am talking about it, and I still can't believe it. Our 8th grade year, I remember watching Dr. Arbuckle walk into our middle school library to tell us about Rogers New Technology High School. He seemed pretty funny, he cracked jokes, and he still managed to stay serious with all of us laughing. I guess he convinced us all to come to RNTHS, considering we are here today. 8th grade year ended, and here came the summer. Summer was quite an adventure. Others stayed exactly the same, and some never changed. Here came our freshman year at Rogers New Technology High School. Most of us texted our friends the day before of school. That way we wouldn't meet up. Nobody wanted to be alone on the first day. Even though our high school wasn't as big as the others, I can probably speak for all of us when I say that high school was a long, tough ride. Long because of the drama, long because of the nights of cramming for the test the next morning, or even 10 minutes before the test. That's something I know we all did. Tough because of the days that we had to take multiple tests in one day. Tough because of the nights that we had to do a lot of homework, but it all paid off. All those long nights and days were for today. It's remarkable, isn't it? We've been through this bumpy high school ride for about 1,460 days, counting summer. Everything passed by quicker than I thought it would. It is something that we all have to face, though. Sadly, whether we want to or not, everything comes to an end. Of course, we all look forward to the day we would finish high school and graduate, but I think we can all agree we'd like our high school years to be a little longer. Today we say goodbye to high school. We say goodbye to everything that we're familiar with, everything that we're comfortable with. We're moving on, but of course, we didn't do this on our own. Mr. Daniels? Thank you for being the realest one out there. Thank you for putting up with a group of loud young Hispanics during our meetings. Thank you for encouraging each and every one of us to keep moving forward. Thank you for the times you made me cry with your words of wisdom. You made an amazing difference with my life as well as everyone who has been in your class before. Mr. Zentis, I know you're not here, but I know you're out there. Thank you for reminding us every day that us Latinos are more than just a statistic, that we are the future and that we should get it together and echarle ganas. Ms. Lloyd, thank you for helping us become better people. Thank you for asking us about our good things and spreading your positivity within our school. Ms. Ford, thank you for giving me advice to become someone in the world. Mr. Martinez, gracias por todas las veces en que me has apoyado para seguir adelante, para enseñarme el camino correcto. To all the facilitators, even if I didn't mention your name, thank you. I'm able to stand up here because of my facilitators and speak in front of you all, considering we did presentations after presentations after presentations, even with some fun here and there. A mis papás, les quiero decir muchas gracias por su apoyo, por todas las veces que me trataban de ayudar con la tarea de matemáticas, aunque no sabíamos ni por dónde empezar, por las veces en cual me trajeron a la escuela, por las veces que me ayudaron con todo. I don't say this often, but I love you. And one last thank you to my friends. Never would I be able to make it here to be the person I am without you all. I love you and I can't wait to see what the future has in store for us. Well, class of 2018, here's the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. Someone said we couldn't do it, so we did it. And when they said that we won't, we will. Life passes by too fast, so let's get out there and make the best of it. Today we begin a new chapter in our lives. Today we move forward.
It's not hard to see why we like these guys so much. Thank you, Ruby, DJ, Matt. I appreciate you sharing with us this evening. At this time, I would like to recognize the work and effort of the class of 2018. If you are graduating with honors this evening, please stand. These learners have taken the required coursework and achieved a 3.3 GPA or better. Thank you. Those learners graduating with high honors, please stand. These learners have taken the required coursework and achieved a GPA of at least 3.75. Thank you. Finally, learners who have met a 4.0 GPA or higher while taking the district-required coursework are recognized as graduating with distinguished honors. Will our distinguished honors graduates please rise? Thank you. This year, we have a first for Rogers Public Schools as well. These guys who know me, they know I like first. I like being first. That's why we're the first graduation every year in Rogers, because I like being first. Over the past 2 years, many of our graduates have not only been taking high school courses, but they've also accepted the challenge of college. Tonight, we also recognize 9 students on the floor who actually became college graduates last week. If you completed the requirements for an associate's degree, please rise at this time and be recognized. Thank you. All of our graduate distinctions are listed in the program for your review. Congratulations to all of you. I would also like to take a few moments to recognize the Rogers Board of Education and the district leadership team. When I call the name, members of the board, please rise and be recognized. Kristen Cobbs. Curtis Clements. Nathan Gerhan. Mitch Lockhart, Paige Saltemeyer, and Edgar Hernandez. Miss Amy Horn could not be with us this evening. District administrators with us this evening include Mr. Charles Lee, Assistant Superintendent for General Administration, Dr. Virginia Abernathy, Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, and Dr. Roger Hill, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. I would also like to recognize Dr. Marlon Berry, Superintendent of Rogers Public Schools. Dr. Berry, at this point, I would like to invite you to the podium, and I would like to present you with the Rogers New Technology High School class of 2018.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education and District Administration, I'd like to thank all parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers and sisters, friends and neighbors who have come tonight to support this graduating class. Thank you for being a part of this ceremony tonight. And now, seniors, we get to that magic moment. One simple statement. It is my pleasure to recommend to President Cobbs and the Board of Education that the class of 2018, having met all of the requirements for graduation as set by the state of Arkansas and the Rogers Board of Education, be awarded their diplomas. Congratulations.
Josh Terrence Miller.
Wesley Gavin Johnson.
Julian Kim.
Xavier Feliciano.
Danny Berkvins.
Erika Resendez.
Alyssa Diaz.
Jaron Porter.
Robert Griffin.
Caleb Parks.
Jasmine Cornejo.
Alexandria Duncan.
Lucy Rose Kiefer.
Ana Denise Granados.
Hannah Grace Conover O'Meara.
Courtney J. Newton.
Chloe Dawn McKinney.
Samantha Alderson.
Peyton Wells.
Taylor Leanne Spearman.
Madison Columbus.
Sidonie Martin.
Devin Page Pilaro.
Aubrey Chester.
Alma Garcia.
Natalie Galindo.
Jasmine Ramirez.
Heidi Fernandez.
Omar Arriola.
Germán Flores.
Sebastián Canales.
Matthew Philip Holcomb.
Jeff Blackwood.
DJ Talbot.
Brandon Chavez.
Elizabeth Perez Cabrera.
Mary Caitlin Wright.
Brandon Cheyenne Grigg.
Ashton Kennedy Cooper.
Erica Paige Burks.
Nicole Coco Vasquez.
Catherine Rodriguez.
Juan Yair Vigueras.
Cristian Rodas.
Nathan Castaneda.
Evan Curiel.
Isaac James McCain.
Milo Barnes.
Logan Breling.
Jason Bravo.
Matea Nicole Anderson.
Anastasia Franklin.
Summer Smith.
Garrett Richard Glenn.
Kay McLean.
Colton Meredith.
Ian Xavier Daniels.
Brett Lucas Roberts.
William Knox.
Alexis Ramirez.
Mason Phillips.
Jacob Ewing.
Devin Alford.
Remy Sawyer.
Zachary David Paget.
Llewellyn.
Let's go!
Gavin Holmeyer.
Scott Strosky.
Judith Itzel Garduño.
Natalia Tovar.
Angie Nava de León.
Alejandra Torres.
Alondra Michelle Rodríguez.
Mario Alejandro Herrador.
Ruby Vega.
Itchel Salazar.
Adrián Muñoz.
Thomas Brixey.
Scott Brandon Matthews.
Gage Michael Russell.
Carlos Eaglekraut.
Dylan Ross Jones.
Siraj Bardwash.
Tyler Thornhill.
Turner Brown.
Nick McConnell.
Kayla Noemi Behar.
Angie Nicole Carranza.
Justice Houchins.
Everett Starks.
Bailey Bardrick.
Willow Smith.
Jacob Swartz.
Daniel Muñoz.
Wyatt Mitch.
Álvaro Hurtado Barriga.
Zachary Smith.
Alex Waddell.
At this time, I'd like Lucy Kiefer, DJ Talbot, and Everett Starks to join us on the podium, please.
Right here. We go right here. I would like to say, I forgot. But if we could have the class of 2018, please stand. Now, as a symbol of graduating from RNTHS, we would like to do the moving of the tassels. Welcome to the real world. We all need help. If you want to, you can throw your caps up in the air. It's your choice.
On behalf of the faculty and staff at Rogers New Technology High School, as well as the class of 2018, I would like to thank you again for joining us as we celebrate these student learners this evening. Learners, we commend you for your successes, and I hope you understand the indelible mark you have left on the foundation of education at Rogers New Technology High School, as we continue to do education differently for many more graduating classes to come. Thank you very much for coming this evening.